It's the No Bluff podcast.
We live.
It's your boy, Dev That Dude on Twitter and Instagram.
What's good? It's Troy TBS.
It's your boy Tay. Y'all know what it is.
And we back.
Feeling good.
4.
Good energy.
Feeling lovely
about the pod today. I got good energy. A little bubbly.
It's been a good day. I've been busy all day, but ready to get into these topics.
For sure.
Yeah. So it's episode 4. We'll decide the name of the episode later. We wanted to start off this episode with a topic that I think everybody kind of knows what happened it was Friday when it was announced.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, actor Chadwick Boseman passed away. He had cancer. For those of y'all that don't know, he was in They say he was in stage 3 for 3 to 4 years, and recently hit stage 4.
Yeah, I think he was in stage 3 when he found out, and then it's been like you said, it's been like 3, maybe 4 years with him battling that, and before it went to 4.
Right. And with that, sad to say he passed away at such a young age of 43. I mean, a lot of us know him from Black Panther, and we know him from like 21 Bridges and other movies. I think it just kind of speaks to like his character in general, knowing that now he was doing like recording these movies while under procedures of, cancer, things to prevent cancer. And anybody that knows anybody that's been through those things are draining on your body like no other. I don't think there's any other way to put it. And to play a role as, predominant to like the superhero world as Black Panther and killing the role, knowing you had cancer is like insane. It's insane to hear. Condolences out to his family.
Definitely.
I'm gonna let y'all go ahead and speak a little bit more to it though.
Yeah, man, it was crazy. That's one of those moments when you see it, you scrolling through your timeline. I think it was at night when I figured out, and you see it. He's like, wait, what? And like it takes your brain almost like 5 full seconds, which is a long time to process what you're seeing, because at first you think a lot of stuff like, yo, dude was young, successful, and the first thing I think is how did he die? And then you kind of his family kind of spoke about it, and it's whoever released his tweet, which was the most liked tweet ever, which was pretty awesome.
That was dope.
Yeah, and I'm like, yo, that's kind of crazy. And so obviously we all reflect, and it's a beautiful moment, as tragic as it is, and it is a tragedy when we lose a man like him, so young, so talented. But the beauty in it is that he's a legend. How many people get to die as a legend and an icon? Very few. And so sometimes that's selfishly what I think grievers, what we do to kind of give ourselves comfort, but it's the truth. He became a legend, and he got to fulfill maybe not everything he wanted to do. And I know he got a family, and I know that's devastating for them. But dude left this earth as a legend, as an icon. And the way he carried himself for nobody to know, I had no idea. I'm sure some famous people knew, but he carried himself like, I'm going to continue to live my life. I'm going to live it through, fulfill everything I want to do. He didn't look for sympathy. He just lived his life and was an excellent man. And I think that was admirable. And he gave us one of the most iconic films ever. I got some more to say, but I'm going to let Troy speak his piece.
Yeah, man. Like y'all was saying, when I got the news, I think one of y'all put it in the chat.
Yeah.
And it's like, hold on, what? Like, did I read that right?
Right.
Chadwick Boseman, like, damn, like just some shit you don't see coming, especially someone so young, someone so talented, a promising career. He already had a legendary career, as we stated, but he had so much more left, and unfortunately, he had an early demise. But yeah, instantly I just reflected on his career. I watched a couple clips, interviews of his friends and family. Everybody talked about him, in great regards, talking about how great of a person he was, how great of a man he was, father, husband. So I know he was loved. He'll be missed. Instantly, I had to watch Black Panther that night. I'm like, I gotta watch Black Panther.
It's on my radar. I got to get to it.
Yeah,
Same.
I was like, in my feelings about him, I gotta watch Black Panther, man. Like, with all the shit going on this year, we done lost so many important people in the Black community.
Right.
So that's just kind of how I decided to celebrate his life and his legacy. Just watch Black Panther that night, and as like you said, Javante, that iconic role. Really, all of his roles is iconic.
And 42 was super iconic.
Yeah.
The legendary Jackie Robinson. So.
All he did was tackle some of our most prominent Black historical figures, mostly entertainment and sports, and did it well. So, like I said, man, props to everything he contributed to the culture. Rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman.
Y'all saw Black Panther in theaters when it first came out?
Yep.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yep. Definitely went to see it in theater. It felt like a moment for like Black people.
For sure.
It was like we finally got a superhero we could relate to.
Yep. There's people in the theater with dashikis and stuff on.
Right.
In my theater.
That shit was dope. I never seen nothing like that.
And I remember that movie, watching it. Like, I don't know how. I mean, obviously it's an A+ movie, but you analyze and critique it as a movie. Black Panther it is from a different perspective. It was our movie, and I remember sitting back in the theater just watching it, just absorbing how cool this was. All these African men and women, just an iconic movie.
Right. It speaks to like, you know, how Marvel was on it with it too, getting like a Black director. And was it Ryan Coogler? Or I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right or not. But yeah, getting him to do it, and then like I think that added an extra effect to the portrayment of like how it would be hypothetically if there was a Black superhero. And I think that was probably one of the things that stood out for me with the movie. Like, you know, I've seen it like at least 5 times now since it came out in 2018. You know, it's amazing to see somebody of your skin color being portrayed as a superhero and actually come in like run some shit, do some shit. So it's like dope for kids, I think, growing up to look up to. And I did see a lot of young Black kids looking up to like Black Panther as their favorite superhero. And that speaks, you know, motives to like what Chadwick Boseman did in his role. He killed the role. Everything was dope. I also heard his 21 Bridges movie was dope too. I need to see it still, but I definitely want to check that out as well. You know, praising those to his family once again. It's sad that it, you know, we wasn't aware of it beforehand. And I think to me, that's probably one of the biggest things is like life coming at you fast, man. And 2020 will show you that.
For sure.
Yeah. What do y'all think though? Like of a situation of a family or friend kind of hiding a terminal illness from you. What do y'all think of if something like that were to happen to y'all?
I think it happens quite often, more than we want it to. For instance, maybe like you might have a grandparent, somebody that's going through something, and they might not want to tell everybody. And it isn't really for selfish reasons. In their mind, they thinking they helping the family out by like not letting everybody worry about their problems. Yeah. And I think, you know, as a society, we need to stray away from that and more so letting it be known what's going on with you. And, you know, so people can be there for you in your moments of, you know, need, and especially when it comes to something like a terminal illness or something like that. But I've seen it in my family numerous times where you don't find out till it's too late and they've been knowing about it. And then you ask why, they're like, you know, we didn't want you stressing about it. Like, I don't think family really understands that, like, you're not doing anybody no favors by abruptly hitting them with it when it's like almost time for you to be gone or something. Like
Yeah, it's tough. I see it both ways. I had to deal with that situation when my great grandfather passed, and it was kind of like it was like signs there, but it wasn't like just outwardly stated, because it's like once we find out and it's too late, then it's like, damn, why didn't nobody say nothing? Like we could have you know, really honed in on that time and really, you know what I'm saying? So it's like that. But then, like you said, it's like sometimes those family members or loved ones don't want the family to know because they don't want to be treated differently, or you know, they just want to go through it how they want to go through it. And for my great grandfather, I can say that situation, he was strong in his faith. And so for him, he was like, I know it was a situation where he like, shit, I'm not tripping about it. Like, he was 87 years old. He lived a long life. He had 9 kids, a beautiful family, beautiful large family. Like, and like I said, he was strong in his faith. So for him, I know he was like, this is what it is. Like, I live my life. I'm going home to my God. Like, I'm not tripping. This shit ain't sad. Like, I'm about to rock out. I live my life and I'm about to ride out of here. I don't want y'all tripping and stressing. Like y'all live your life. So I understand it from that aspect. So I wasn't angry, but the selfish side of you, like, damn, like I wish I would have known. Like I would have been, you know, I would have shared more of my time spending it with you in your last months, years, or whatever. So I can say it both ways, but I respect their decision, however they want to handle that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, people deserve people can die how they want to die. That's their decision. And I agree with you, Troy. Your first inclination, us is selfishly, we like, man, we want to grieve how we want to grieve, or we want to know because we want to, like you say, you would love to spend more time with that family member, but everyone has the right to die how they want to die, and
That's facts.
it's that simple.
No, that's facts. And I think with this story, you know, we didn't know about it. His whole family could have been knowing about it is one thing, you know, to think about. But it also does make a good topic, though, because it does make that shock. Because I think we've all had I had a friend that was terminally ill and had bad cancer. And he didn't really tell me until like a month and a half before he passed. I heard from other people he had it. But, you know, you want to give people the respect to tell you on their time. And I think, you know, that's one thing. So it's like, you know, I tried to reach out to spend time, but of course, when you're going through something, it's kind of hard because they got to get treatments and things like that. So he wasn't necessarily telling me that, but it was kind of like he was dodging me. But I knew in the back of my mind why he was dodging me. I didn't want to just come out and say it like, I know what's going on with you, because sometimes they don't want a pity party. People want to, like you said, people want to go to how they want to go. They want to, you know, grieve how they want to grieve, and you got to let them do what they want to do. I mean, it's as simple as that sometimes, is respecting other people's wishes.
It's real.
Yeah. One more thing I wanted to say about it, and I think it was reported that he had prostate cancer, and that he didn't find out till it was stage 3. And just looking up to the statistics on it and seeing that, I think that we'll fact check them later. But what I've seen, that 1 in 4 Black men will get prostate cancer, and it was like one of those situations where it's like, damn, like, I really need to go fucking get those checkups. Like, you're young and you like, man, I don't even worry about that shit. Like, that shit to cut. I get that shit when I'm whenever age they recommended, 40 or 35, whatever the fuck. So, you know, it just kind of give you that red flag up, like, hey, check up on your health, man. Don't be playing around bullshitting. Like, you don't play with this shit because it can happen to anybody. So I just want to put that little PSA out there. Something I'm gonna definitely try to look into over the next 6 months, 12 months, whatever.
Well said, and that was such a shock because Chadwick, from everything we know, was a young, healthy man. Obviously, he was affluent, so he had means to get the best health care. And some of these diseases, they don't discriminate, and that's one thing to keep in mind. And the earlier, like you said, Troy, the earlier we detect these things, the earlier we can get the help we need. So, especially prostate, guys like to be immature and act funny because of the way it's checked up. But look, this is life or death. So, hey, drop the soap one time. It might have been a bad time.
Never a bad time. It was perfect, actually. It was good down there. So
let's loosen it up, man.
But yeah, R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman, man.
Rest in peace, King.
You're a legend.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. And so I guess to go off of that, to try to lighten it up a little bit, I think Troy came with this topic. I think it's a good topic. Grown man turn-ons. Do you have new turn-ons as your age, or do they always say the same?
Troy, kick that off, big dog.
Yeah, it was something I was talking to my little cousin about. I won't dive in too much into his personal life, but at his age, he just he dealing with this young lady, and I don't know why he's still dealing with this young lady, but he is. And you know, she's a pretty girl. She's a pretty young girl, whatever. And so it just made me think back to those times when maybe I was young, or we all been young men. You know how that is, when maybe your main focus and you know, looking for someone of the opposite sex, maybe maybe just they looks, or that one thing that's just like, I deal with all the other shit, like
them cakes.
She's beautiful, yeah. She got a nice body, her face look nice, whatever, this and that. And that might be your only focus. She's like, that's great. I'll deal with it. I'll deal with whatever comes with her. So it just made me think, like, as you get older as a man, as you mature, do your turn-ons, do the things you look for in women, do they change at all? Are they the same? So I just wanted to kind of raise that question and see what y'all thought.
That's a good ass question.
It is, but before we get there, man, it just makes me laugh and reflect on the stuff I dealt with because I didn't know it at the time, but because the term was pussy whipped. And you don't know it at the time, but as an adult, you can look back and you be like, the things I dealt with just to have relations with a young woman.
Right.
And that stuff can make you cringe as you get older. And you think about I mean,
we've all done it.
Some sucker shit.
Bro, I didn't walk from the east side to the west side of Gary, Indiana, which is no plaything, 9 o'clock at night. Man, the things we do as young men and the things we tolerate, boy. But back to your question. That's a good question. But, man, it makes you look back as a man and just be proud of the growth and development you done had. Man.
For sure.
No, that's facts. I do think, especially when you're younger, the prettier the better. You willing to tolerate some like dumbness, or not dumbness, ignorance, or just, you know, for lack of better terms, no street smarts girls like at a young age because they look pretty or whatnot. And I do think you do grow, and then you realize, you know, like, I think turn-ons do change as you get older, because as you start to mature, things that attract you start to mature as well, because you might be more turned on to, like, you know, connections more so than looks or whatnot, and a fat booty or some big titties. You're young, that's all you want, because you want to have the baddest shorty to show everybody, but at the same time, that's what you turned on to. You don't know any better. You don't know life yet. You ain't been through nothing. I think as you start to go through things is when what turns you on about a female or an opposite sex is, you know, it changes, because the older you get, you know, you might value money more. You might value somebody that listens more or whatnot. But when you're young, half the time you don't give a fuck.
Even college young, like
right,
like dudes and girls, women too had bad. How many women we saw was dating the same Kappas or the same alphas in X fraternity, was dating the same basketball or football players. Like values, I would assume if we had some women on here would change. And in college, I didn't see y'all my guys. I didn't see y'all all make bad choices.
Hey, at least you keep it at a buck. I think got to hold everybody accountable. Everybody got to be held accountable.
Everybody that made some decisions, and it's kind of crazy, right? Because y'all both in relationships. I'm married, so we can't get as real as we want. But we've all made decisions in college, and in college it's more about the body.
That's it. It's the numbers. You're just trying to be Will Chamberlain. That's it. Basically. And enjoying turn up as much as you can. Whatever was providing the most fun was what you was on.
Trying to win that night. That party, that weekend, you was trying to win, and it didn't really matter much.
Right. It was just getting your numbers up. That's all it was about. Going to the gym, putting shots up.
All right. So as we were saying, like, we all in great relationships now. We all in love. But for this conversation, let's just put ourselves in the space of when we were still single.
Thanks.
So y'all tell me. I know it's been a while for you, Javante.
Nah, I still talk that real.
As you can still put yourself in the mind frame of a single man today. What qualities, characteristics would you look for? What would turn you on as a man today?
Yeah, one for me, a big turn on for me is I don't know how to phrase it. I'm not gonna put it in a cute way. I'm gonna keep it raw. I like a woman who can get shit done. Meaning, like, if I need you, and I do the same for her, but if I need you to accomplish something, you need to literally have, and not trying to draw it back, but that's one thing that attracted me to Jill. If I need you to have the intelligence, the wherewithal, that if I can't do something, I mean, it could be a task, it could be anything. If I need you to get something done, you can do it. For example, Jill, we live in Chicago. I was working hard. She was off or something. her job was literally to find the place where we live. That is not a small task.
Right.
So I need to be able to trust you to do a major task and do it well. Find us a beautiful place that fits our budget.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to go around with the realtor. For example, when I was in college and I was sending out resumes and stuff, I was out of town. I was in the military in Virginia. It was a deadline for a scholarship that had to be submitted in Indianapolis. I need to tell you this task, and she was running to Bloomington, to IU, and then running back to Nap, getting my resume and newspaper clippings together and submitting them. I need you to be able to do hard, difficult tasks. That is a turn on for me, because in life, we got to get shit done. That's what this world is about, especially when you building with somebody. It's about getting shit done, whether it's jobs, if y'all start a business together. I need somebody who can accomplish something. And that's where, when you're younger, you have no idea when you want a smart girl what that means. That's not just a smart girl who can do it. You can have
book smart. That's
right.
Yeah, like you can have a girl who
common sense. It's all different forms of
you need real stuff to like. I love when she does great things, but when she do things that are like that, that's a turn on to me. Like, man, I can trust her to get something major done. I can be out of town for a week, or we got to get into a place by 7 days, and I can trust you to find a good place that we want to live, that fits our budget, that works what we got to do. And I don't got to talk to you until I'm moving in.
That's major. That shit's major.
So my answer to you is somebody who gets shit done. That's my short answer.
Okay, I like it.
Right. And for me, I think now it's a mixture of things. Yeah, I still want you to be attractive to me. You ain't got to be the baddest on earth or nothing. I don't expect you to be the coldest walking.
Your girl is the baddest to you.
Yeah, she is. My girl's beautiful to me. But like Troy said, put yourself in a mind frame of somebody that's single. Luckily, I got the baddest, so I don't have to worry about that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like, I mean, you got to be, attractive to me, and that's what really matters. I ain't worried about what everybody else think. And then on top of that, I need you to have a little bit of sense of humor, like be able to give a joke and take a joke, because a lot of girls, they get too serious too quick. You say one little thing that's and they ready to whoop your ass. So I need a sense of humor, because I'm a goofy dude. My fellas will tell you, let me get around you a while. I'll say some of the goofiest shit on earth.
You're gonna laugh your ass off.
Right. It may rub you the wrong way for a minute, but just realize it's all in fun. Like, I'm just, out of love, basically. And then on top of that, kind of what Javante said, but in a different way, I need you to be goal-oriented. So I need you to get shit done, of course, but I want you to also have your own goals, and don't live off of like some goals somebody else gave you or what you want others to perceive you as. Have your own thought process. So if you want to do this, and no matter what it is, try to be the best at it. Have goals to reach whatever you're doing. I think that's big, because you'll talk to. I remember being single, talking to shorties, and they like just worry about getting the next dollar. They ain't even worried about you happy. They don't realize that dollar ain't gonna make them happy. They just like, yeah, I just want to make X amount and then I'll be happy. No, it's not about that. It's about, are you gonna love what you're doing day to day? Like, what do you do to make yourself happy? What are you getting better at that excites you? And I think a lot of females don't have hobbies, and that also can cause a strain in things, because they want to get involved in everything you got going. I mean, same with a guy. If a guy doesn't have nothing going on for himself, you're gonna get tired of him being all in your face and whatnot, because he ain't got nothing else to do.
Trying to hang out with you and your girlfriends.
Right. Ain't got shit else to do but be nosy and all in your business. So I think have your own goals, have your own hobbies, be cute, be funny, and that's like, to me, that's like the perfect mixture. I already got it, of course, but if I was single again, that'd be what I was looking for.
What you got, Troy?
Oh man, I love those answers. I would say definitely the same things y'all was saying. To add to it, I would say, I guess kind of like what Jeff was getting at, like she got to have some things that she's already aspiring to. Like, what could I say? If I put myself in a single mind frame, I guess, okay, we know that looks is the barrier of entry for us.
Thanks, it matters.
That's always going to be the barrier of entry. But beyond that, like for me, I would like somebody. I like somebody who got something going on already, something they're already aspiring to.
Mm.
And that's what I found in my girl, and that's what one of the things I loved about her. Like, a girl gotta have something going on for me. Like, you can't just be cute. You can't just be like,
right.
We at that point in our life where we lived, that life as a young man in that dating world, and we've done that. We've had the cute girl, we had the bad girl. We've done all of that. Like, what else do you have?
Right.
And so it's like I said, man, you just got to have something going on. Like, the girl, I would like the girl who is in her work clothes more than the girl who just out, just with the tight clothes, tight dress, just looking sexy. Like,
Yeah, I ain't into that.
it don't do it for me no more.
Yeah, I
Like,
ain't into
Right.
that.
the girl who got her scrubs on, that might catch a grown man eye faster than the girl who got the tight shit on.
Right.
People look plump in them scrubs too.
Right.
It just, so I guess what I'm saying, like, as a grown man, like, when you get older, you mature as a man, certain things, like, if you just seen a woman just off the look, or maybe you see her in passing, you see her 2-3 times, you kind of what do y'all kind of analyze to, kind of gauge something about her?
I like that. So you saying so now we talking if we just see her and don't know her too well, but we just meet her somewhere.
Yeah, you got some girls, you got that phase where she's cute to you. You like, okay, I'm gonna check her out. Let me see what she about before I can analyze her before I even talk to her. Certain things I can gauge from her with just by observing her moves, that type of thing.
Well, you could tell a lot. I mean, where you meet her, if you meet her, what her profession is, but the way she talk, the way she carry herself, I like a little feistiness. You know what I'm saying? I like strength in women. So I mean, I've been out the game so long, so I can't give a great answer. But because I ain't checked out a woman in damn near a decade.
Yeah, a long time. Yeah.
But when I was single, it was just how you carried yourself, what made you kind of different, but I don't got a good answer for that. What you got, Dev?
That's a tough one. Yeah, I think for me,
there could be just the things that we seen in our women that that we didn't, maybe she didn't tell us outright, but we kind of just observed.
Right. For me, I'm not to go too far in detail, but when I met my girl, I think the main thing that stood out to me is I could tell she was nice. Like, if that makes sense. Like, some girls be just rude as fuck. Like, so rude to where they may not be rude to a significant other, but they just rude to everybody around. And it just makes them, like, kind of feel like you don't want to be around that type of energy.
Right.
So I think the first thing that stood out to me was the fact that she was nice. And I mean that in a good way. Like, kind of like she was, friendly. She ain't going to disrespect you if you don't disrespect her. And I think that was probably like the biggest thing to me, that was like the entry point, because it made conversation flow smoother. Like, and I think we hit it off instantly based on the fact that she was nice. And, I could make a joke here and there and, say a prayer or two. And that's our little joke we have for each other, because I said that a lot when I met her.
Yeah.
So I think the fact you let me get away with that and you cool with it, like that'd like be the entry point to me, like hopping on outside of course, you looking attractive to me. So.
And one thing else I like, this is probably not when I first see it, but when I'm getting to know a woman, and something I wish I cared more about when I was dating, when I was single, is I'm attracted to a woman who's secure in herself.
Right.
And like, people say
very
that,
important.
Like, you gotta be able to detect that, because not even women, most men or women aren't.
Right.
And that's dangerous for both sexes. It's only
Facts.
gender, because with women, what I would notice, my wife is one of the very few, maybe only one of the very few women I dated who was secure in herself, and I noticed how big of a turn on that is. And because that is also, man, being secure in yourself can touch a lot of different assets in life, right? When you have men, or you got women who who's sleeping around, a lot of that deals from insecurities.
Right.
So,
wanting to be loved.
Exactly.
Wanting to be appreciated.
And so those insecurities come from a lot of different places, and you got to learn it, because there's nothing wrong with being insecure. Some people got reasons for it. But for me, where I was at in my stage of my life when I met my wife, I no longer had space to tolerate an insecure woman. We all got insecurities in certain aspects, but not this deep man, it's gonna sound bad. There's nothing wrong with it because I got it myself. But those deep, like daddy issue insecurities. Daddy issue insecurities don't mean you got daddy issues. Because my father's situation is not perfect either. So that's not what I'm saying.
Right.
I'm saying those issues that cut to the core that you don't even understand why you sleeping around or you justifying having all these different dudes on top of you every week. So being secure in yourself is something that's super important. I think both men and women should look into that.
You got deep right there. Honestly, that is big. Insecurity is huge because, like you were saying, you didn't literally come out and say it, but most hoes are insecure. Yeah. They out here having sex with a lot of people. They're not really happy about it, but if it's a way that men and give them and make them feel endured, like we love them or appreciate them or are attracted to them, some girls need to be touched on to feel like they're attracted to. And it stems from their upbringing. Sometimes it just stems from they psychological issues. Like they may just really think they not beautiful, and I've talked to some very attractive women growing up, and you talk to them, you think they wouldn't even know they were attractive. They'd be like, you say one little compliment to them, they act like you changed their world. Like it's crazy. Like I don't think guys realize how much impact they can have on a woman's life in general. And that goes deeper because that's how men and women, that's how people are so jaded and fucked up these days, because they had people in their life that, maybe mistreated them, maybe abused them in mentally and physical ways, and got themselves thinking they're not as beautiful as they are. And they insecure now, and they just, look for the next person that is going to just bring them in and show them any form of affection. So.
Yeah, because of what insecurity is, and we all have them, but an insecurity at that level is some sort of weakness. And at this age, especially if you date now in your late 20s, you should be able, I want to see that strength inside of you. Like what's attractive is seeing the strength inside of people, men and women.
Very attractive.
Know your strengths. Let me see that strength. Let me see. That's why I was saying feisty. Feisty is a form of strength, a form of courage, a form of courage. Like that's the type of stuff I like, man. Like I'm in Chicago. I don't date none of them, but man, you go to the hood in Chicago, ain't too many insecure chicks. If they sleeping around, it's because they want to. Yeah, they gave me some weed. That's what. What she doing?
He didn't finesse her for the family.
Right. He didn't finesse her. She finessed him for a 6-piece Harold. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I mean, if you even think about it, like what is game, right? That's I don't know if guys still use it, but that was the term when we were growing up. Like, man, I
still use
I got some game. I got a mouthpiece. I had game because what was game? It was a game is just a man being deceptive and telling a woman what she wants.
Right.
That's what game is. Now, it's different forms of that in different ways, but it is at the root of it is. Maybe it's not deception because you just telling her what she want to hear. You could tell her your truths, but I can manipulate my truths to tell you what you want to hear at that time.
You can cap at your truths, basically. Make some shit sound better than it is, but it still be the truth.
Yeah. And one last important thing I think is super important. People are different, but one thing I've learned in my marriage and one thing my wife and I bond over deeply that people won't understand is we share a love of music.
That's fact.
That is super.
That's important. That's important.
Like you can't always go out to the club and spend money. Sometimes you gotta be able to turn up in your crib.
Right.
I'm not turning up. I'll make a joke. I know they smashed it with their verses, but I don't listen to Brandy and Monica. So you can't play that over my JBL speaker. We can't turn up. My wife was she grew to love it because she does love hip hop. But we turn up to Future and like. I get turned on when she vibing the Futures. I mean, we get our adult beverage on, and we in the crib in the shop because it's COVID season, and we partying in the crib because we can turn on some.
Right.
We can turn on some Uzi, and I can talk to you because I love music. So I'm like, yo, you catch that? You catch that ass? Like,
right.
Find that. So. That's another thing.
Nah, that's major. I will say, I think my girl a bigger Future fan than I am.
Nope, she listens. She cannot be on the board. I'm the vice president.
She did say she coming for your title. I don't think nobody listening. We be listening to her music on shuffle. 90% of the shit she listens to, I like too. So it'd be cool. And then at the same time, Future coming on every other song dang near. I'm like, what in the world?
Hey, Dev, tell your girl I reviewed her resume and cover letter for the application to be on the Future Hive executive board, but her cover letter was a little weak.
I'm gonna let her know she be listening, so she'll definitely have a rebuttal for that. She'll definitely have a rebuttal for your ass. No dirty soda for your Christmas gift in your Christmas bag.
For sure.
No, but that's big though, bro. I think you hit something I don't think we ever, talked about though. But like, interest is big. Like, I want my girl to like some of the stuff. She don't got like everything I like, just so I ain't gonna like everything she like. Cause at the end of the day, we have different interests. But if we got common things we could connect on, like we could talk about a future verse. Or like my girl, it's crazy because her parents ain't really into sports, but she loves sports. Yeah. We watching TV, bro. I kid you not. We was in Detroit watching like NFL Network or something like that, and Joe Namath come up on the screen. You know how old we are. Yeah, unless you follow football, you don't know who Joe Namath. Yeah, my girl was like, "Oh, that's Joe Namath." I was like, "What you know about some Joe Namath?" But that's like a turn on though. Like, damn, you really into it. You ain't just one of those people that watch the finals because LeBron in it. You actually follow sports and shit. Like, it's crazy.
Like my wife, she geeked. Like Sundays, we ordering food. She geek. It's football all day. Like that type of stuff.
Right.
Heavenly. And I'm like, man, that's super dope. And yeah, man, that's. Shared interest is super important. And
it is.
And also, I know we're talking about this a lot, but this is important. Like, just like you said, the reason we all attracted to women who got something of their own, or they trying to grow, or they got goals, that's because those are going to be men who are also have goals and
right.
So we got to be chasing something together. Like, I don't want to, like, my wife would tell you, how rarely do we just get off work and we just talking about dandelions and bullshit. We talking about money. We talking about how we gonna grow our money, future plans in the future,
right? Career plans, all that shit.
Yeah,
bro.
If you're not interested in talking about that, I'm not saying that's 24/7.
Right.
We have our fun. We just talk about turning up the future. But when I'm interested in talking about that, you can't be uninterested because you want to scroll through Instagram. Right. I'm talking about our 401k account. You scroll through Instagram. I want you to be as interested.
Like, are you
money.
Invested in our future? Like,
right.
Yeah. What you want to work till you 60? Like, I ain't into that. That ain't really my goal.
Right. Now that's facts, bro. Like, I mean, you gotta share interest and goals is just another part of it, because if I'm over here grinding, telling you I'm trying to get this promotion, I'm trying to start my own shit up, become an entrepreneur, and you just chilling like, oh, I'm cool doing what I'm doing. Me and you might not vibe. You might vibe for somebody else, but like me personally, I'm not gonna vibe with you. Like, that's not what I'm here for, and that's not what I'm standing for. Like you said, if I'm talking about, okay, I'm trying to save X amount to do this. I kind of want to hear what your thoughts are on it. Not just, oh, that sounds good. So
yeah, it takes maturity and growth. Like, I didn't even realize that, to where you not like stimulated by not the sexual things. And
right.
That takes time. That takes maturity, and that takes also relationships got to mature too. Like, not like maturity as in wisdom, but a relationship's got to mature to where. I mean, that stuff is always important. You always want to have that sexual connection with your partner, right. That physical connection. I'm not minimizing that, but it's a beautiful thing where y'all connecting on something a little bit deeper that a lot of young folks wouldn't understand. And I don't blame you. You in college, do your thing.
Right. Enjoy it.
Right.
Enjoy it.
Yeah, man. Like I was saying, man, like maybe those one or two things that are really like important to you that you're really interested in. I think you kind of need to find that in your partner.
Yeah.
So just a gem we dropped for the single folks out there. Like,
on me, we did.
That's a huge thing you need to key in on, and so take that with you. Pick that gem up. This is No Bluff podcast, man. Where else can you get it? You know what I'm saying? Right. It's here. We back. But yeah, man.
Right. So with that said, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next topic. For those of y'all that ain't aware, and y'all can soon chime in when y'all want. Recently, Joe Budden, the Joe Budden podcast, been talking about possibly trying to figure out his next move with the podcast or whatnot. They've been exclusively under contract with Spotify. I'm not gonna go in depth on all that or whatnot, but with that, he's been, having money to sit talks and stuff like that. Like, he's looking for a better deal. It's not all about the money, like saying all this and that. And, him and Charlamagne been getting into it about it or whatnot. But long story short, with all that said, recently came out that Tahiri, his ex, that he was on Love and Hip Hop with, and that he's been known for dating in the past. They've been on recent seasons of Love and Hip Hop, interacting with each other as friends more so than in a relationship. She came out and said that when they were together, she was abused, mentally, verbally and physically while they were in a relationship. Mind you, I don't think they've been together in the last 5 years or so. It's been a little over that, right, Troy?
Yeah.
And it just so happens that, like, this is coming out now, like, out of all these years. Joe's had, talks of conversations about abuse in the past with other women, but he, denied those allegations. I think this topic was more so like, and I think it's a good one because, it's been so long since they dated. And then at a time like now, it just seems coincidental that the timing is when he's under contract talks and trying to get another bag. So the question posed is like which and how long should past relationship woes affect reputation? I think this is a very good question based on, everything that we know that's going on right now. Do y'all see a time where it shouldn't affect like your reputation, or like, I guess for lack of better terms, should it what things could happen or situations could happen that it should still affect your reputation? And then at the same time, when's too long? Like,
Okay. I guess I'll go on, touch first on which instances or cases. I would say anything sexual assault wise, anything like life threatening, anything like that, then I don't think there's the expiration on it. I think that can be held against you. I'm all about redemption, forgiveness, all about that shit. However, some things I can understand if people just put that on your character and your reputation for maybe throughout your life or for a long time. So that should deter people from, making those certain mistakes.
Right.
With that being said, the majority of things, especially when we're talking about love, we're talking about relationships, especially when you're young, the younger you are, things you haven't experienced, everybody don't know how to deal with certain things, or they deal with things different ways. I give it maybe 3-year grace period. Like, if it's something like you got a little physical in the situation of Joe and Tahiri, it seemed like she was talking about a physical altercations or physical situations they had. So physical shit, like, I understand. I'm not condoning it at all. Men definitely shouldn't be putting your hands on women. But being somebody with a brain, with intellect, and using my brain, we know that sometimes things can happen in heated relationships and in the passion of love and emotion where things just might get physical. I'm not saying you should be hitting people or nothing like that, but things might get a little physical. And, so in those situations, if I'm not there, I don't know exactly what happened, but I might know that something physical occurred, then I understand. Like, I ain't going to weigh that on somebody's reputation or character. I'm not going to call them an abuser or a woman beater or this or that if I don't know for a fact that it happened. So like I said, that, I give it maybe a couple years after that. I'm not going to give you that strike against your character. Hopefully you grown from it and you got better from that. So yeah, that's what I got on that.
I believe this is something I've given a lot of thought to as the emergence of cancel culture. As cancel culture has emerged and become more prevalent in today's society, right? I don't think there's anything anyone can't come back from, in my opinion. Not one single thing. Now, let me be very clear about that. There are some heinous things you're thinking about. Oh, what if somebody did this or did that? Some of these things take time. And if a person shows genuine remorse and has genuinely learned, that don't mean they can't come back from that. Now, that don't mean there aren't consequences.
Right.
So let's take let's take the most extreme measure. I'm being super extreme. And this does not desensitize me or disrespect any families, but let's take Dylann Roof. That's the most extreme I can think about, right? A white guy who shot up black people in a church. That is heinous.
Very.
The consequences, he should spend the rest of his days in life. That's without a doubt.
Yeah, in jail.
in jail. I'm sorry, and for a while I'll be soured to that. Now the problem is a lot of people who commit heinous crimes like this and do stuff like rape and stuff. They have some psychological issues where they can't correct themselves. So I'm speaking in a perfect world. But if he some way found God and was truly remorseful and was trying to, from jail, talk about, I mean, first thing is actually talking about the wrong you did, explaining why. I think he can come back from that. Now, a comeback doesn't mean he's free and he got a talk show. I'm not talking about that.
Right. He on BT.
But I'm saying he can get to the point where
he didn't do host of the BT Award.
He said, can you imagine Dylann Rufo? That's the early but I'm saying, when I say a comeback, that's hilarious. That's the funniest joke ever. Where he can come back is that if he say he's speaking on YouTube or something, and I will sit and listen to him. But there has to be steps. Now, let's be less extreme than that. There are white racists who, if you were racist 10 years ago, if a talk show host on a prominent NBC station, I see that 10 years ago, he was calling black people nigger. Mm-hmm. But if I see signs of true remorse, and I mean, that's hard, but the problem is that's subjective, and now we all have to make our decision if we want to forgive them. And so part of the consequences are some people may not forgive you. But for me personally, I just believe in humanity, and I believe in everybody's ability to get better. And most people don't, but I'm a person where I don't think it should affect their reputation. That's long-standing. If they make visible ways to improve that behavior, and if they've truly learned and grew as a person.
Right.
I like it.
Yeah, for me, and I think, it depends on the situation. Like Troy said, and hit on, I think, well, if you out here like doing pedophilia type stuff or murdering people and things like that, then there's no forgiving that. Like there's no, there's no coming back from that. You need to be locked up in a cage for life. Like it don't matter the situation. But I do understand, like, especially like you were talking about relationships, like sometimes in the heat of relationship or just a past relationship, there's a lot of envy that comes with that. So without proof, it's a sticky situation to go off he said, she said. There's always three sides to a story. There's what one person says, the other person says, and the truth. So from what we know, Terry says Joe beat on her or whatnot. And most people would be like, that's wrong. Cancel him, get him the fuck out of here. But there's also that other person that thinks logically about all the terms of their relationship and friendship. They were together over 5-6 years ago in an intimate relationship. And then, that didn't work out. And so they both went their separate ways, been with different people since then. But they've also still been in the same working environment since then. Recently, in the last season of Love and Hip Hop New York, they were both on that season together. And Tahiri could have easily turned that down if she felt unsafe around Joe. You know what I'm saying? They were put in environments where she was going to be around this man. And when you say something like that, like she could have easily, on her side of things, easily said, "Nah, I'm cool. I don't want to be around Joe." Like, and probably put in her contract, still been on the show, but just not involved in any scene with him, or maybe I don't know. But I don't think the bag's worth your safety if you feel like somebody's really been that much of a threat or abusive to you. That's just outside looking in at it. But then there's also, the other side of things where you look at it, say he was that way back then and he's changed, then if you forgave him for what he's done or whatnot, I get trying to bring awareness, but it's now the time for that type of awareness. I don't know. It's weird to me. I don't know where they stand on friendship relationship now. I do know that Tahiri had another situation going on with Vado on that little Love Marriage Boot Camp show where he got kind of physical with it. I don't know if this is backlash for that situation. She just decided to bring up Joe because he didn't comment on it, wishing the best for her. Based on that situation. But, that's just my thoughts on it. I don't want to go in depth. I do think cancel culture is crazy, but I think, depending on the situation, sometimes there are elevations to the truth because of, it was a relationship where they both had feelings for each other and love and respect for each other. But, you know, it's a sticky situation in general. I just feel like it shouldn't carry with you for years. What you about to say, Javante?
Yeah, I would say with child pedophilia, that is super heinous. I mean, I want to be very clear with that one. That's super heinous. And what I would say with that one is, yeah, I can get behind fuck you for life. I would say with those people fall in that category. I think most of those people got some deep psychological issues that can never be fixed.
Right.
So remember what I said. You can only be rectified if you take the necessary steps and true remorse. And I don't think those people have that. So those type of people are fuck you for life. I want to be very clear. That type of shit is heinous.
Yeah, I love what both of y'all said. Cancel culture, it had its time, man. I'm ready for it to go. Personally speaking, like, the shit has just placed such a high expectation on us. Like, we're fucking human. We're going to make fucking mistakes. The main thing about cancel culture is, especially within the Black community, it's like we're so quick to cancel the people of prominence, the people of success, the people who are accomplishing shit.
Of our own kind.
Yeah, that are role models, that are actually doing shit. We're not canceling the motherfuckers in the neighborhood who ain't doing shit all day, who ain't giving back to the community. They pieces of shit to their families, to their kids. Like, we ain't canceling them. We canceling people who are actually contributing to things because they
trying to help out.
Yeah, they said something wrong or some dumb shit. Like, okay, we can get on them. Like, that was some bullshit you said.
Right.
And now we're gonna teach you, educate you on why you shouldn't say that or why you shouldn't think that way. So that's one thing. And then what can I say? Oh, the next thing was like, it's just been something on my mind lately. And so it's like, I guess we can kind of, I don't know if y'all done talking about it, segue, but like I said, all those thoughts been on my mind. And so when I seen the interview with Kanye and Nick
Cannon, I was about to say that too.
It kind of made me be like, I gotta be more supportive, more understanding of Kanye, because when Kanye speaks, like, I feel him a lot. I understand him a lot more when he speaks. And now he do wild shit. I don't know if he really, you know, they say he's diagnosed with bipolar, which, you know, the evidence is there.
Right.
But it's like, if he is or if he isn't, like, I got to kind of give him more leeway. I got to kind of be more careful about who I condemn publicly. Some things I'm going to get my jokes off and I'm going to laugh about shit.
Right.
I'm gonna get my jokes. Like, you said some bullshit, I'm gonna get my jokes off. But I'm not just gonna cancel you for life. And, you know, you still might be a valuable member to society or to our culture. So it's cancel culture as a whole, man. We gotta get that out of here and find a better way to get through to people.
Oh, I think that was a great segue. My bad, Javante. I just wanted to say this real quick. But like you said, and the whole Nick Cannon, Kanye interview they had, I think one of the dopest things from that interview is what Nick Cannon said. He was like, even if I don't agree with my people, talking about Black people, I'm going to support them publicly. I'm never going to talk about them. I at least try not to talk about them bad publicly because, you know, it's just going to make us look bad in the long run. It's like the whole, what is it? Like lynch, like the lynch theory in a way.
Yeah.
Like don't bring down your own people. And I think, to me, that was one of the biggest things that resonated me from that interview. But I'm going to let you go ahead, Javante.
No, I just want the people to know we talking about an interview recently. No, this is a No Bluff podcast. I put this thing right here. Got some popcorn for the people.
Wait, what you got on that? What you got on that popcorn? You eating plain Jane?
No. I put lemon pepper and garlic sauce.
Ooh, okay.
That sound flame low key. That sound hella flame.
I'm from the hood. They
that sound too flame.
Hey, y'all finna go get some popcorn after this joint.
For sure.
That do sound flame right now, bro.
Bro, the Dylann, the name, the title of the podcast, Dylann Roof hosts the BET Awards.
Hey, I low-key like that title.
Yeah. That's the craziest thing I've heard. That was brilliant.
That was, low-key, bro.
That was brilliant.
That's going to be the title, just so you know. That's going to be the title.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. But I was letting the people know we talking about an interview with Nick Cannon and Ye on Nick Cannon's podcast, Cannon's Class. And the two sat down for about close to an hour, 45 minutes.
And that's only part one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we got a second part. And just giving them a gist, an overview of what this was about. just kind of going into Ye's psyche, really. That's what it was talking about. And they talked about some of those things. And Ye kind of discussed why he wanted to run for president, which he spoke a lot about pro-life. And I did want to get y'all thoughts on that because when I go in, I'm going in.
Right.
Just in general for that part one that dropped yesterday.
I'll start. I think it was very insightful to me, kind of like what Troy was saying about Kanye. I know he's bipolar. I think what we were starting to realize with Kanye, and I don't think people are realizing, is he's cool when he's sitting down with somebody he's comfortable with. It's when he gets in front of people he's not comfortable with or talking to somebody he's not comfortable with that he shows he's like, even if it is bipolar, that's when he's misunderstood, I feel like. Or he says things that kind of like us as a black culture, be like, fuck him, let's cancel him. I will say to me, them two being friends made it a good element. And it made me really kind of respect Kanye in ways I didn't think I would before. You know, I think he was bluffing a little bit of stuff he was talking about himself. Of course, he's gonna make himself sound good because he's Kanye. He's known as being arrogant and
right.
making himself sound clout. You know, got to bring more clout to himself. But there's one part that stuck out to me that I wanted to share with y'all, where I think Kanye kind of hit us with a gem as for how he acts. So I'm gonna play that snippet right now while we on the pod, and then y'all let me know what y'all think, and y'all can dissect it any way y'all want. Just bear with me a quick second as I share my screen and then share that clip. I'm gonna share the No Bluff, so you know for y'all watching and listening or whatnot, y'all this will be what y'all see. But I want y'all to hear this clip, and fellas, let me know if y'all can hear this clip okay or not.
Beautiful.
It's like a 3-minute clip, so.
Saw where they was gonna go with this.
Y'all hear it?
So I'm like, yeah, whatever you saying. So I was like, I'm not gonna let you make me talk bad about my brother. But then now, even like they mad at the process because, and let's unpack that. But even like I saw somebody I love dearly, Stephanie Mills, said that you and I are paid slaves, like and playing and acting like we're toys or playing with our toys, and we need to take our toys and go back home because there's people. Well, she's not wrong. People, you know, losing their lives, losing their jobs. This time is serious, and that we not taking what our powerful voices serious enough to help when, like I said, all I've known you to ever be is someone who wants to help and be sincere and of love and even everything that you doing. And it's like, how do we deal with that when it's coming at us?
And where is home? Exactly. Where is home exactly, Stephanie?
Yeah.
You know,
Did she have a song about being at home? She think it's a place in the Wiz.
Yeah. Also, it's look at our names.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like our names. Look at my last name. My last name's a slave name.
Right.
Where is home exactly?
But even for somebody else to call us that.
No, what I'm saying is like we don't know what kings really look like. We don't know. We're seeing them for the first time, and it's like the media would like to do anything to make you believe that that's not what we are, and that's not who we are. And honestly, you know, we're two of the most honest and expressive people in media, as far as black people go. And with me, it's like I don't use my mind. I mean, people are like, well, obviously he doesn't use his mind. No, I use my gut.
That instinct, your inner spirit.
I use my instinct. My instinct is infinite. My mind is limited and only an instrument.
Bars. Bars. Nah, man. And you touch on that.
So I just wanted to share that with y'all. I think that kind of shows, hits at like how intelligent Kanye can be at times for all the dumb shit he do. I think that was a true ass bar he said when he talked about, you know, he reacts based on his gut because he says my mind is limited. Oh no, he said he's like my instinct is what did he say? My instinct. I had it written down 1 second. He said, my instinct is infinite. My mind is limited and only an instrument. So basically he's saying, you know, as far as this is how I took it, as far as he can think and process things, that's limited off what he knows. But if he feels like some shit isn't right, you know, if you feel like some shit ain't right to you, you're going to always feel like something ain't right. It don't matter how it correlates in your brain. You just, that gut instinct just hits you. And I think that's kind of like, to me, that kind of explains why he reacts the way he does, whether he's bipolar or not. If he ain't rocking with some shit, he's gonna be the first to let you know. So I just think that was a gem from the interview they had, and as soon as I heard, like, damn, that sounded like a bar. I just want y'all thoughts on it or whatnot. Then we can continue on the conversation.
Yeah, my initial thought, man, that was a fucking bar. Just in terms of, I won't go too deep, but like in terms, if you follow people who are into metaphysics or anything like that, or you're into African ancestry or their spiritual systems, they definitely follow that belief of going with your gut, which there's something to your gut and you're going with your heart, and you know, rather than your head. They knew something that, you know, a lot of us don't know or don't realize today, that was lost you know, throughout everything that happened throughout our history. So yeah, tap into that if anybody who's interested. But yeah, man, Stephanie Mills, which touches on something that we might, you know, talk about on another podcast, was like Stephanie Mills as the elder, like, we're gonna respect you. I gotta respect her. Can't disrespect her or, you know, challenge her too much on what she's saying. But older people gotta be more understanding and patient with the youth or with those younger than them. Like, it's not everybody who's younger. They not just naive and just talking out their ass. Like, some people really have great ideas. Like, when people say something or people dream so big, which, you know, Kanye, we all know Kanye is a fucking ego out of this world. He's a crazy dreamer. Like, when people dream big, you gotta let them dream big, man. Like, you can't just condemn them and shut them down every time. Being free from slavery sounded fucking nuts in 1600 or 1700.
Right.
Oh, that's a fucking crazy dream. Like, y'all dumb as fuck. That shit ain't gonna happen.
Right.
People gotta dream big. Let them dream big. If they don't get to it, so what? Like, allow them to dream big. So like I said, Stephanie Mills and the elders, like, when some people just say, you know, things that y'all might interpret as delusional or out there, just let people dream big. So that's what I want to say about that. But yeah, man, like you said, Kanye, he can say some profound things, some things you agree with, some things you disagree with. I just enjoyed the conversation. So that's what I got on that. Devontae, what you got?
Okay. I'm gonna start with this. I took a couple notes because this was deep to me on a lot of levels. So the first thought I had, and I think Dev said this, but it's important to take note of this, is that when we show the video, when we put this clip out, is it gonna show us three, or is it gonna just show me and you, or me talking? Before I go too deep on this, Troy.
I believe it will show you on the big screen.
Okay.
And I might be on a smaller.
Okay. So Dev gonna miss some of this, but this is what I'm gonna get into. So I start with this. One thing I think you said, well, that was actually profound, was one of my key takeaways, is that, man, this was a good reminder that Black people, we aren't monolithic, and we got to start breaking away from that thought. Like, Black people, we got a little bit too much groupthink within the Black culture. That everybody's got to be hyper liberal. Everybody got to have the same thoughts and espouse the same beliefs to be accepted into what Black is, right? Because there's this one cool accepted form of Black, and that's it's actually a form of Black a lot of us fit into, right? Like Herman Cain didn't fit into that, right? The Republican, right? And so it took a lot of maturity for me to understand that Ye does not fit into that traditional mold, that traditional coolness of Black is, right? Because the Black mindset that's kind of spread out that we all accept is that mindset that most of us come from poverty or difficult circumstances. Most Blacks tend to be hyper liberal because we believe a certain party is more accepting of our social issues and our social plight. So Ye represents that, and I think we need to refrain from hating on him just because he's different, right? And so I think that is the first step, something you said. This talk to me was super fascinating because of the times, because of these two Black men, right? So I was just looking at this like, wow, this is a great examination of two Black men who are a lot different, but also a lot similar in a lot of ways. Right?
Even, not to cut you off, but even having personal conflicts they could be beefing about. Like Nick Cannon dated Kim Kardashian. That's Kanye's wife. Like
I don't know a lot about this world. I have no intentions on sitting down with a man who has slept with my wife. That's just me. That's just not. I'm not mature enough yet.
That alone is huge for them to be able to do that. But go ahead, continue.
So it's two things that make me think about it. And it's a lot here, and they all still kind of tie together. Nick Cannon, I think, is just kind of crazy because he's this man who traditionally has been great for our culture. He built a platform Wild 'N Out that put a lot of African Americans in positions of power, and he made a mistake. I think he was confused. I don't want to go too deep in it, but he had somebody on the show who talked about supported some rhetoric that can be really racist and perceived as espousing Louis Farrakhan, who was known to call white people devils, which is I don't agree with that at all. And so Nick Cannon was on that pod, and I don't know exactly what happened, but he made some mistakes. He lost his job. He lost all his jobs. So he didn't get the chance to grow and learn, even though he apologized less than a week later. But we know that's not good enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Rick Ross can rap about murdering black men and shooting and selling drugs, but the minute he says something that's about date rape, drugs, and a drink, which is wrong, by the way, but the minute he says something that's outside of that, right? All of corporate America and white America is okay with all these rap artists when they rap about killing other black men and shooting. They can monetize that and they can publicize that. But the minute you say something that affects somebody outside the black culture, you got to go. That's when Reebok dropped Rick Ross, if you want
right.
to. But they ain't ready for them bars.
They ain't ready.
They ain't ready for them bars.
Not at all.
And so, but then here's Ye. And so this is what I was at. So I was with y'all. I was like, yo, Ye, I'm feeling dude.
Mm-hmm.
But in the second half of this interview, then he gets to talking about why he ran for president. And this is where he lost me.
Mm-hmm.
The core of why he ran for president, he was just pretty much talking about him stepping into this newfound Christianity. As he said, it's been a year. That's what he said. So
right.
New Christian. And I get it. You read the Bible, you become a zealot. When I first started really reading the Bible, like I read a book, which is in high school, I was running back to school. Ask my boy Calvin Tiggle right now. He played for Kent State football. I don't know where he's at. Good dude. I was throwing Bible verses. I know how to get on dude nerve. I was throwing Bible verses at him because I was almost evangelizing because I was so excited that I knew this book. So he reminds me of that. So I don't hold that against him. But part of this newfound Christianity, he said part of why he's running, he talked about pro-life. That was big where he was on.
That was a lot of his conversation, actually.
They talked about the genocide of black people because a lot of this is what I want y'all to know, listeners. We can have fun, but we're gonna go deep when it's time to go deep. So we're gonna go deep.
For
sure. They talked about the genocide of black people because Planned Parenthoods are largely located in black neighborhoods. I'm gonna take him for his word. I didn't double check that, but that's true. That's great. But where he lost me is because he used that as his reasoning to run. So
the country.
To run the country. So now it's time for Kanye. While he is a great black man, I think he has some genius, but part of that and part of his narcissism is his inability to hold himself accountable.
Right.
And to be
that's deep.
To be able to look and access the larger culture. So if you are a black man, I don't think for one second he does not care about the black community. That's ridiculous. Of course he does. But you have to have at a critical moment, this is one of the most critical moments in the history of the earth for black people where I don't talk about my political viewpoints, but where the majority of black people are staunchly against Donald Trump because they believe he has been harmful to the black race or he does not care about minorities.
Negligent to us as a culture in general, most people will say. Yeah.
So right now, behind the coded rhetoric, when everybody right now, athletes and everybody saying go out and vote, the coded rhetoric behind that is let's get Trump out of office.
Facts. Because
that is what people believe is the best for black Americans. That's what black Americans believe largely is best for us. That is a fact. Whether this is once again in the job I have, I don't talk publicly about my political views. I'm banned from it. But that is just a fact. Black Americans, most black Americans, not just oppose, they vehemently oppose Donald Trump. I learned that word from Jay-Z in a lyric in 8th grade. So with that being said, he has to be aware of all of this that's happening. Because if you care about black America right now, and you're not being a narcissist is not an excuse to not just care about you, right? Because even with Trump in office, you get great tax breaks and your money is good. So with that being said, with all of that happening in the country, when you sit and run on a platform that you say is pro-life, why are you running on a pro-life? If that's the case, guess who's already pro-life? The Republican
Republicans
Party.
are, yeah.
The Republican Party is already pro-life. So when that is your excuse for running, when you're running, because blacks can do a lot of stupid things like vote for Kanye West. There's not a single Republican right now come November 1st that's going to vote for Kanye West. The only place he will siphon votes from is from where? Black
The
America.
Democratic, yeah.
From fans, from dumb fanboys. He's not getting my vote. I don't think he's getting y'all vote.
Mm-mm.
But so if you don't, and I don't think, will he sway the election? No, I don't think he's that powerful. But when you don't have the foresight to see that, and then I was really curious to know why he was running, because I was like, I'm going to give him a chance.
Right.
And when he said pro-life, and we got a part 2 coming up, but when he harped on pro-life for 20 minutes, I said that guy does not get it, because that's a poor excuse. To me, now now something is fishy, because the Republican Party is pro-life largely.
Yeah.
That's problematic. So he needs to understand that. And I understand why. And I understand why he likes Trump, right? Because fame's attracted to fame.
Right.
Narcissists are attracted to narcissists. Right?
That money's attracted to money. Let's be
Money's
honest.
attracted to
Yeah.
money.
He's in the billionaire column now.
So I was rocking with him until that, right? And you know his narcissism on full display. He keeps talking about where he was at in Forbes list, bro. Nobody cares if you 285 million or 3 billion. Only you care about that. But I think people need to really focus in on when he talk about his platform is pro-life, when the Republican Party is already largely that. And I know he's driven by his narcissism and want to run the country, which we know won't happen. But if you care about Black America, how you say it, and when the overwhelming majority of Black Americans strongly oppose Trump, you should have that foresight, and he did not. And for that, for me, that first part of the interview was a loss for him, and that's why.
Right. And I understand that completely. If we're going in the aspect of like his political views, then definitely I'm right there with you. That shit is,
we barring niggas up on this podcast.
That shit is wild. Like all he's doing is showing Republican viewpoints that's, like you said, is going to sway a Black person that may not usually, they might agree with him. You know, some of them are liberal, like they be on some like, I'm liberal, but I really don't fuck with abortion, so I'm pro-life. And Kanye is Black, so I'm gonna just ride with him till the wheels fall off. That's 100,000 votes, and that 100,000 votes could do something. Like,
makes a difference.
It makes a big difference
because you're not gonna take the votes from Donald Trump. You're gonna take them from
Joe Biden. Right, exactly. It's not, nobody's taking, like,
nobody that's voting for Trump is voting for Kanye West.
Right.
What you're going to get is that 18 to 24 demo young Black kids who think it's cool to have Kanye, who, you know, but a lot of Democrats are already torn on Biden. It's not going to be sizable, but like you say, that 100,000 votes matter.
And
that
some liberal white kids, it's going to be.
So you got to, what you think about all that, Troy?
Man, I agree with everything y'all saying. Kanye, to me, like, if your passion is, you know, Christianity and pro-life, then go. You don't need to be president to, you know, help those causes out.
Facts.
And he tried to bring it all in by saying that I guess he feels like the country or the world is at a place where it seems like to me that he's saying like we're in competition, like the capitalism aspect of the competition of everything gets in the way of us seeing each other as like family, treating each other like family. And I guess he feel like if he becomes president, he can change some things around to make us more of a community again, more of a family again, which if that's your fight, Kanye, go ahead. You know, I don't think that's a worthy cause. I don't think that's realistic. But go ahead and do that. But yeah, like I said, that I don't think you need to be president to further those causes of pro-life. I agree with some of the points, a lot of the points he made, but I don't think they are relevant to who you were running for presidency.
Exactly. I don't care what your opinions are. You're entitled to your opinion and to speak them. But then when you take that and you run for president, which will, and this isn't my political viewpoints, but if you care about Black Americans, and right now, like we said, most Black Americans are against Trump. That's just a fact. That's not an opinion. Then a lot of it doesn't make sense to me. And like I said, before we got to that point, I was rocking with him. I was like, it's a little depth to him. He chill, he vibey. But Yeah.
That and his point lacked depth. Like he started off by saying, like when he was started talking about the abortion side of things, he was saying most Planned Parenthoods are in African American communities, and I feel like if he really wants to run for president, like kind of like y'all were saying, especially what Troy said, he can. If that's really his fight, he can outlet that in different ways. But president of the United States in a country where we're not even a quarter of the population, saying that you're fighting for black people and pro-life in black communities is not going to get you presidency. It may, get you some wins in the neighborhood, but it's not going to win presidency. And like Javante said, it's going to hurt Joe Biden in the long run. And I feel like we haven't heard part 2 yet, but if he's still serious about running for president, he's going to have to bring more to the table than that for it to even make any type of sense. Because right now it seems like he just wants to do it for clout. At the end of the day, he knows how big it can make him.
This is literally like what's so crazy. The world we live in is that with Trump being elected, I mean, who can argue legitimacy candidacy? I mean, he was the first celebrity to get elected, and
right.
So the country has set ourselves up for. I do believe in the future, The Rock or Mark Cuban, somebody like that will be president because this country, they don't value politicians the way they once did.
They value popularity more than anything now.
Yeah. Now
the clout, the social, what is it called? The social media bug. It's on everything now.
Yeah, people get rich now off Instagram. Like I remember when, like even a few years ago, people used to talk about like, oh, I got to do more than social media because fame pays now. Like that ain't that crazy? I know this is a little bit off topic. But
I like it though.
But like fame pays now. We're in a time where popular, it pays to be popular. It's crazy. People used to talk about people, oh, you care about having so-and-so Twitter followers, IG. Talk about somebody with 1 million followers you want. You can join them, but they getting paid off
They getting paid. You can generate revenue off that following.
Yeah. I mean, ad companies, they'd rather have that than to be in some newspaper.
Facts.
Yeah, like I was saying, like he's just I think he means well. His narcissism gets in the way a lot of times. Like you're proud to have that billionaire status, but also you're kind of alluding to we shouldn't necessarily be in capitalism or competition with each other because it gets in the way of us treating each other like family. So like which side of the bar are you on? And it's like on the same token, you do have billionaire status now. So put your money where your mouth is. Like I don't hear you talking anything about opening up programs to help mothers during, if they're wearing that decision about abortion or anything like that. I haven't heard about you open any programs to offer financial support or any counseling or anything like that they could get if you really cared about trying to sway them away from indulging in abortion. So it's like his narcissism just kind of gets in the way of a lot of his points. He makes good points a lot of times, but like I said, he kind of just sounds like a hypocrite or he just contradicts himself a lot of the times with other things or with his actions, various things like that. So, go ahead.
No, I'm saying I did learn, like you said, circling back to my original point. I did think about that. Like, no, we gotta appreciate. I don't mean I don't appreciate the things he's done and some of the things he says, but he still has to be held accountable and he has to acknowledge. I mean, we don't know. I doubt it will have an impact on this election, but you gotta be aware of those type of things at this level. Especially, this ain't a normal election of people. A lot of black people, a lot of minorities, so a lot of people. This election is like not
make
life
or break.
death, but this is big. People, 2020 been a crazy year, and I think to a lot of people who would be terrified if Trump was reelected. A lot of black people, at least. Black man saying you care about black culture. That's just what it is, man. That's a fact.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I encourage anybody who is interested in this political climate and the climate of the world or America, like just go do your history, man. Like, the country is on fucking edge right now. Like, you see, the type of things Donald Trump supports, and I don't fear him or anything like that. Like, he ain't nothing I'm too concerned about, but I am concerned in the aspect of him having another 4 years as president, because you see him always going the extra mile to support those who are harming, minorities.
Yeah.
He never condemns them, anything like that. He's always in support of them. So it's like things are getting worse. Just look out into the world. Look at your phone. Look at your phone. Like, you see everything that's going on. If he gets another 4 years of that, you know what I'm saying? We don't know what might happen. So in that aspect, it's like you said, Javante, it's not just a normal election. You got to be more tuned in right now. You got to be more committed to the cause.
Especially being a minority.
Yeah, I don't talk politics, but I will say this. Everything that's happening right now, it's very clear. Like, it's not like anybody's trying to – what's happening right now is very clear. And nobody's trying to hide nothing. To Trump's credit, he is not hiding anything.
Nope.
Everything is very clear. Like, I have a crystal clear understanding of what is happening around me right now in this world. And that's
facts. That's facts. It's power in what you say and how you say it, and it's also power in not saying anything at all. And Trump does a good job of both. He does a good job of supporting, people that are not of colors, gripes in society and things like that. And he's quick to paint anything that us as, people of color do as negative, violent, a crime, like rioting, this, that, and the third, but let the same thing happen in white society, and he doesn't say anything bad about them. Like, just, I'm glad it was safe or something like that. But he's like, as soon as black people like go out in the streets and protest, I'm sending National Guard there ASAP. Everybody's coming there, riot gear included, like ready for everything. So, I mean, it's power in what you say and how you say it. And like you guys said, it's clear. I mean, you got to literally just be completely clueless not to know what's going on. It doesn't even have to be said. You just know it's important to vote, especially, in the black culture right now. It's very important to vote. Get out there. It may not feel like it, but, every vote counts. That shit's real. So if you want change, you got to make it happen, or at least attempt to.
Facts.
Okay, so with that said,
woo, that was heavy.
Yeah, that was real heavy. I wanted to segue into album releases. I know we got a couple albums coming out on the 4th.
Big week.
It's gonna be a really, really big week. We got the Snitch dropping. We got Lil Durk. Painted His Troy is the top artist, in the past year. He's dropping his project.
The boys.
Man, and then we got Big Sean dropping his project this week too. It's highly anticipated. So I think it's a good variety of music for those hip-hop heads out there coming out. I kind of wanted you guys' thoughts. I know Lil Durk dropping the same week as 6ix9ine is a pretty big deal to some people. And I just kind of wanted y'all thoughts on some of the releases this weekend and like what y'all think is gonna happen.
I kick it off, I guess. This is a huge week to me. Like, even though it's only like 3 major hip hop albums dropping.
Are you listening to all 3 albums?
I am listening to all 3 albums.
Stop it.
I'm listening to all 3 albums.
No, stop it, bro.
Actually, let me stop. let me stop.
Bro, hold on.
I'm not listening to 6ix9ine's album.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. We can't support that dude.
I gotta correct myself.
You giving him money. Everyone listen.
No. I'm not listening to him.
Okay.
I'm not listening to him, but I am invested in what his album sells. I am invested in his failure. I want his album to do terrible, but so I am gonna monitor that. But aside from that, I don't know. I guess let me ask y'all real quick, and then I'll go back into my point. Just one word. Who has more to lose?
Between
who needs a great album? Who needs to perform better? Durk, Big Sean.
Big Sean.
Javante.
Durk.
Okay. So Durk, I think y'all know how I feel about him in terms of artist and where he's going. I think this is the time for him. Like, if this album is great, this is gonna set up his career. This takes him to another level. Like, he's been putting out dope music. Got the Drake feature. You in the blogs. You got the you in the streets. You got the commotion with 6ix9ine going on. Like, this is a perfect time. This is a setup for you to deliver a great classic album. So it is a lot of pressure on him to deliver. However, if it's not the greatest album, I think he got a little room to work with. Big Sean, on the other hand, Big Sean, this is your last chance. With me specifically, this is your last chance to deliver. I'm going to love you. I love you. Don't get it fucked up. I love you as an artist. You a dope lyricist. But to hold you on the high level that we've been holding you on in hip-hop, you have to deliver on this album. The song that you dropped, the Deep Reverence track with Nipsey, even though we've heard it for a while, we heard it during the verses with Hit Boy and everything, and we loved it. Dope album, dope song. You went introspective. You got personal on it. We love it. What's the song? The Demons, Harder Than My Demon song. And I only heard it twice, so I got to go back to it. I wasn't that impressed by it. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. Big Sean, you got to deliver. So I'm really focusing on Big Sean's album this release week, or Thursday at midnight, Friday, however you want to classify.
Mm-hmm. I'm there with you. I think because Durk released the album earlier this year, right? Yeah, this is his second album this year. So that alone, y'all think his stuff's heat. I think it was cool. But y'all think it was heat. So if it's even on that level, he's cool. He's good to go. This is the time to capitalize, though, coming off a Drake feature and a Nas feature. But I think, he's solidifying himself where those guys are getting listens from him. So I don't think it's going to necessarily hurt him in any form. Whereas, like we said about Big Sean, I think it was last podcast, we literally just said it. I'm expecting big things. Like, you named the project Detroit 2. Like, some people didn't like the last album. I liked it. It was decent, but I need that classic album from you. You haven't gave me a classic rap album yet. And you've been in the game, as you put it, over 10 years. So, you know what I'm saying? If that's your case, and you trying to go on another 10-year run or whatever, you got to really show me, with this project, I'm holding it heavy from the intro to the outro. I want to hear hot shit. So that's my take.
It's important for Sean, without a doubt. But Sean, I know for you, Troy, you said it's the last straw. But if Sean drops a lackluster album, his name doesn't drop in the tiers. It doesn't. He can't. He's already dropped. He's not been in the top tier for years. And so I'm not saying this is an important album for him. I need some.
Could this put him in the top tier again? If it's that dope, is there any way that this not for you?
No.
If it's a classic album, he's back there for me.
Okay. I disagree with that just because it's been so much time. And I've already heard Harder Than My Demons, and I'm like, that was a bad sign for me. But why I think this is more important for Durk is because he has something that's so hard to capture right now, and that's momentum. And I mean serious momentum.
I see what you're saying.
When that pendulum is swinging, right? And it's the momentum. It's possibly he'll never. How many people do we see had that momentum, and once you lose it, you lose it? We've talked. Lil Yachty had the momentum before. It's gone. It's gone. Totally dropped. Fetty had that momentum at one point. It dropped. We're gonna talk about Fetty in 1 second. No Fetty Wap slander allowed on the No Bluff podcast. I'll explain a little later. But right now he has a momentum I think he needs to seize. That right now it's kind of this. It's a confluence of all of his. It's a confluence of all of his court case stuff, which is very important in rap culture, right? He's connected to the streets. This Drake feature, he had a really good album. Some people thought it was cool. Some people really loved it. This is his one opportunity to seize. I think if he drops a smash album, he enters the tiers with Baby, Uzi, Thug, Gunna. He's in that grouping now.
Gotcha.
And how few opportunities do people have to enter that type of stratosphere? Because that stratosphere if he loses momentum now, he can't just get it in with a fire album next year.
Right.
So this is a chance. This is a once in a career chance where he's got arguably more momentum right now than anybody else in the game. After that Drake feature, we talked about how Drake helps guys clearly. And so I think a flat album would let a lot of air out of the balloon because he still doesn't have the name that Sean has, right? Sean has been in that top tier. He's never been there. And so I think Sean, I'm not saying it'll happen, but if Sean dropped an okay album now and next year drop some heat, people be like, "Oh, that boy Shine. I've been telling y'all been sleeping on Shine." So that was my thought.
I like it.
Only thing, my one rebuttal to that though is Durk seems to put out music quite frequently.
Yeah. Sure.
So whereas a Big Sean, we ain't heard from him in a couple years. So if Durk does kind of muster here, that Drake song gonna ride out the winter. So he could still put out another dope ass album by early next year. And I think with Sean, we waited 2-3 years for this shit. It better be something. I'm not waiting another 2-3 years for some more bullshit. So I think like this is gonna be. Is Sean gonna stay where he's at, get higher, or is he just gonna get lower and we're gonna stop checking for his ass and he gonna turn in Wale? You know what I'm saying? That's
right.
basically what it boils down to. So that's why I think it's a little bit more important. But I do feel where you come from with Durk because he ain't gonna just get another Drake feature overnight. That shit's hard to come by. Drake ain't just handing out features to just anybody. So
Lil Durk momentum crazy right now. Can you? I mean. We arguing here, but we think they both need a good album. Can you imagine if Durk album is a smash?
Right,
bro. The street, like, forget people. What this is what people who don't know hip hop don't understand. The streets still control who's who in hip hop.
Right,
and that's what I love. We know the suburban kids drive the sales, but the streets dictate who's who. When Meek came back and he plummeted and bounced back up. That was because of the streets, his court case, and he came with some hot music, spitting bars. So, man, I just think Durk right now, Durk got a hold of the streets in a way Big Sean don't. I mean, Chicago ready to go turn up. Like, if his album fire, like he give us that real orange streets, man, it's finna be crazy. What, we got 2 days? Boy.
Yeah. Yep.
Boy.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful for Durk right now. It's like I said, man, it's a situation where he can, I guess, it'll set up his career if he delivers on a great album. It's a lot of people going to your point about like the streets run it. So like the streets of hip hop is kind of like the people that's really in tune, you know, with all the artists and the music. They dictate, you know, the position and the polling. And Durk has worked his way up and he's came up. So we all aware, but it's going to be a lot of people's first time really checking in for his music. So that's going to bring a lot of pressure.
That's
like,
a good point.
If it's not a great album, these people they're going to write him off and might not check in again. So on that aspect, it's a lot of pressure. And also a lot of pressure for Big Sean. Like I was trying to put that track list up, but he dropped the track list on his IG and
there we go.
Perfect. When I was going through the track list, I'm like, ooh, it's some fire on this motherfucker. Ooh. It is some fire on here.
Oh shit. He
got some features crazy, yo.
It's building the pressure even more because this track list looks phenomenal. Like
he got Stevie Wonder on there.
Bro, he got Stevie Wonder. He got Dom Kennedy. That's that West Coast flow.
Dave Chappelle.
Ty Dolla $ign. Post Malone gonna give you the pop records you need. He got Wale, Anderson .Paak, Young Thug. Oh my God.
Life with Lil Wayne.
Nobody care about that one.
Friday nights.
That shit gonna be heat.
The Friday night cipher, tapping into the giving back to Detroit, putting everybody on.
There's no way this joint ain't fire. This joint, but you know what scared me harder than my demons.
Erykah Badu, Travis Scott.
What's weak is if the songs your album can't be carried by features.
Right, that's true.
Can't be carried by.
I mean, if they got to fit in right, and I feel like with this album, he got the right type of features. Like he got like a lot of singers more so than just rappers. Except like Friday Night Cypher, of course, is gonna have all the rappers on it. Mm-hmm. But like a lot of features are like a Ty Dolla $ign, Janae. They gonna give you a hook, so they might have a verse on there. But I do feel you, Javante, though. Like if your album is majority features, then it's usually gonna be trash. Like, or if it's good, I can't give you all the credit. So
I can tell you what song gonna be trash already. The Bad is gonna be trash.
The baddest.
I can tell you right now that's gonna be trash.
Fact, it is. It's gonna be trash.
It's gonna be some wobble, you know, him. Drop your legs.
He got 21 tracks. This is what I say. I need 4 tracks that's completely fire, just smoking.
Mm-hmm.
And then
how many good?
You need at least 10.
I need at least 10. Like, yo, that's I need 10, and I need 4 that like make me like Deep Reverence was crazy stupid.
Yep.
I need
3
like
more of those.
4 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then I need like out of the 21, 10 got to be really good, and I got to be able to. I can't skip more than 5.
Right, 2/3 of your album got to be enjoyable, and I gotta have replay value.
Yeah.
14 is a good number if you got 21 songs, so that's 2/3 of your album replayable, and that's an album worth of songs that's replayable, and it's a couple of super fire. You in there, so we'll see. The album cover looked dope. The back looked dope to me. I'm curious to see what we hear, what it sounds like sonically. I mean, he ain't released in a couple years, so I'm expecting big things. That's all
I'm thinking Durk's joint finna be fire though.
You think so?
Too.
I think Durk project gonna be better than Sean's.
Okay.
I don't think he can afford that, but it might be. Big Sean, this track list is crazy.
It's
to me.
crazy.
Yeah, it's
but
just
all
insane.
Durk got to do, he going through a lot. Just tap into the streets. Like you tap into that streets. I'm in the shot. I'm be riding around Friday night in the shot.
Right.
See, to me, Durk got to deliver something better than what he's been putting out, which is really tough. But I think for him to elevate, they gotta be the best music he's ever put out.
But when you say elevate, it makes me feel like you need him to be more commercial. It sounds like you're trying to code it, but that's kind of what you're saying.
I'm trying to say I need it to be his best lyrical performance. I need it to be his best flows. I need it to be girl records. I need it to be club records. I needed it to still be his streets to where he tapping in, telling you shit that you might not really know what's going on or who he's talking about, but I still need that there as well as the commercial things. Great production. I need to know. I need to see some producers that I know credited, on your album, stuff like that.
So, what do you think of his performance on the song with him and Drake? What do you think his verse there?
Great, loved it.
Okay, yeah.
He executed that perfectly on that song with Drake. You still kept your street and you still gave it that Drake commercial. You know what I'm saying? Even people who don't really know what he's saying, it just still kind of sound good.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But it's actually a real street verse if you're listening to what he's saying.
Turkey, I'm excited. Y'all got me pumped. It's gonna be a good weekend. It's a 3-day weekend. Boys got time to chill.
Barbecues.
Working out.
Good time listening to music.
Hit it. Y'all barbecuing over the weekend?
My aunt is. I'm stopping by my aunt and uncle's house. They barbecuing, so gonna stop by there. Hopefully get the vibe out to these tracks on the ride. The car test.
Right.
Definitely gotta hear it. Yeah, gotta have a car test. So
I don't got no car, so I don't know them. Vibe out to the Bose. I got the Bose headphones, and I got a JBL speaker. It's gonna be a good weekend for sure. Mm-hmm. I need to find some barbecue in the shop while I'm playing. Dude.
Oh, that do sound good. I need it one more time for the summer.
Right.
Oh.
Some flame ass barbecue.
I need some barbecue lamb chops. Quit playing,
bro. Are you next level with it? I see you living the privileges life. We see barbecue lamb chops. I'm over here talking about regular rib tips. Let me go ahead and bang it out with some of that, or like if we talking real cheap, we talking about some pig legs or something.
Yeah. I got to find some good barbecue joints in the shop.
Man. You already got the glitchy Jamaican spot in the G, so
man, that's the glitchiest.
Y'all found one near like that in the shot yet?
We got two spots. It ain't that far, but we got two. We got one really good spot. I love jerk is probably one of my favorite type of food.
Facts, bro.
I love jerk. Food.
I gotta make it back. I've been trying to make it go see my grandpa just to get some.
Man,
make sure I bring my cash with me.
Bring that cash. You already know you ain't getting in without the cash.
My dad be gassing the shrimp hut though. It's mediocre at best. That is mediocre at best. He bought me a big old bag of like shrimp home. Like, gotta try it. Oh, dry, kind of crunchy shrimp. It was cool.
And it's bad when somebody gas it.
Right. It's just a hood staple. So I think he just remembered like it's just bring back old memories of eating hard ass popcorn shrimp.
That's funny, yeah. Shout out Ray Shrimp. I got a fire shrimp spot in the shot too. I mean, we gotta get this once this quarantine lifted, y'all gotta get to the shop, bro.
Right.
For sure.
All right. It's a couple glitchy spots here. Gotta put you on too.
I know, man. I heard Nap stepped his game up.
It got a couple spots, little sleeper spots. There's a spot. I can't remember the name. It's on Mass Ave, but they got like a lobster burger. Like it's supposed to be some flame shit. And then I don't know if you ever had Good Morning Mamas. That's just flame.
Oh, that's that brunch spot. Right?
Yeah, that brunch spot. Yep, that spot's flame. There's a couple others though. We gotta put you on game when you come back. Like I know you got some fire in Chicago though. It's a whole nother level of places to go there.
That's why this quarantine killing the vibes. People can't move around like you want to.
Right.
You can't be free.
Right.
For sure. For sure.
Nah, that's
I
facts.
don't know if y'all went through this when the coronavirus and the pandemic first hit. I was saving hella bread, right? Because I wasn't going out. But now the month's gone. Now, even though I'm not going out, I'm finding ways to spend that bread
On food and shit, bro. Yeah.
I'm finding ways to spend the bread I would have been saving, because after a while you just get, not the blues, but after a while, man, you just tired of being cooped up, bro. I just can't explain it. You just like,
right.
Cabin fever.
Yeah, cabin fever is real.
I'm gonna buy something off Amazon or something.
Something to make yourself feel good about all the money you've been saving and not spending.
Yeah.
Shit, that and like shit, Uber Eats be getting me. I be wanting some fire ass steak. I'm like, ain't doing shit anyway with this money. Let me go ahead and order a flame ass steak or something. Ice ass ribeye. Wasting money. But shit, I'm gonna move on. NBA? Yeah, I was about to say I'm about to move on to the NBA real quick.
Let's close this out.
It just it's what is it? 8 teams left, 4 games going on. Second round of playoffs. We got the Heat versus the Bucks. We got Bucks down 2-0, and your boy right here already said that he going to Eastern Conference Finals. Okay. And now I'm about to go ahead and say it. I think they're going to the NBA Finals. Y'all heard it here first. They beat the Celtics or the Raptors to me, and I think they're going to beat the Bucks. I don't think it's going to be a sweep. I think the Bucks get 1 or 2 out this series, but I got the Heat winning the series, bro. Jimmy Butler on a whole nother level right now. And that defense, the way they playing, Eric Spoelstra with now we can say it, veteran coaching. They just got the right mix of shooters around with defensive players. Yeah. I got the Miami Heat coming out of the East.
I like that, Dev. I think when we last posed the question, I had Boston going. The more I've watched, I'm more inclined to agree with you. Like Miami, they look great.
On the Heat train, let's get it.
They deep. They got a deep squad. They play great together. Like
they got some sleepers there. They got Iguodala. They got Heroes, a nice draft pick. Dragic. It's just something about how their team is playing right now. It's it reminds me of like some Mavs back when they beat the Heat that year kind of vibe. I don't think they're gonna beat the team. I don't think they're gonna beat the Clippers if it comes to the Clippers or the Lakers, but they're gonna give them hell whoever they play. That's how I feel.
I feel bad for Giannis. He's about to feel that LeBron type pressure cave in on him.
He deserves it though.
Where he gets to the point where he tonight. I just looked up the stats. He had 29-14. But the problem for me with Giannis is really the media. This dude's finna win MVP and Defensive Player of the Year in the same year.
And get put out.
He in the same conversation with Mike Jordan and Akeem the Dream. And so if you that means when they give you that award, that means you are not just MVP, defensive player too. That means you're just dominant.
You're the best player in the league by far.
By far, because you dominating on both ends of the floor. You're the best player on both sides of the floor. You can't lose in the second round, bro. So you finna get that pressure. I'm more interested in what happened with the Thunder Rockets, because I actually like all parties involved.
Right.
I like Russ. I like James and CP3. And one of to either Russ and James or Chris, they finna get not Chris, but if the Rockets lose James and Russ has been just so unfairly slandered throughout his career, and just gonna give those type of critics more ammunition.
Right.
CP3, I love you. CP3, I always respect you as a player, but this series, your leadership, the chip on the shoulder, you do battling so hard, you fighting like. I love what I'm seeing from Chris Paul. Yeah, he's been one of my favorite players to watch this season and in this bubble. Like, I love what he's giving.
Yeah, I definitely like what I've been seeing from Chris Paul. I like the statements he made after that game. That shit was real.
I got them winning Game 7. It's 53-50 as we speak right now. OKC up by 3.
I think OKC wins.
They want it. They just seem like they want it more.
If I could go bet at halftime, I'll put my money on the Rockets. I'll go put 500. I'll put 500.
Oh, wow.
If I can get on DraftKings.
It's going to be a good one to see the end. I mean, if I'm going to call it, if James Harden don't show up, it's on him, man. Like,
bruh.
Yeah, it's on him. Like,
bruh.
You got to start holding him accountable.
Bro, I got some breaking news real quick. Sports-wise, nothing crazy.
What's up?
This I don't know. This might have to make that – fucking Leonard Fournette going to the Buccaneers.
Yeah, I saw that shit.
The Buccaneers?
Yeah. Leonard Fournette joining Tom Brady, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, O.J. Howard, Rob Gronkowski, Leonard Fournette, and bruh.
That shit's fake, bro.
Damn, come on now.
They just trying to set up Tom Brady. But you know what's going to happen? They're not going to win it all because when they get that stack, they never win it all.
But
no
the thing
team.
is, Tom is in a win when he already goes. So if he loses, it ain't no criticism. But that's
True.
This is Warriors-ish right now.
Yeah, it's just getting out of hand. It's just they just playing Madden, trading everybody to the Bucks.
Bro, how is this happening, bro?
It make no sense.
This
That's
is
nuts.
Warriors-ish, bro. This is the Warriors.
This just in, Ed Reed coming back. Yeah, right. This type of vibe. Ray Lewis said he want a ring.
This the Golden State
Another one.
Warriors. And I know Tom, your guy there. I mean,
I
I
fuck with
respect him.
Tom.
He the GOAT. It ain't no debate. So it don't
This
matter.
shit
what I
getting
think.
out of hand. Yeah, it's
Bro, like,
too out of hand.
This ain't even competitive now. If
Yeah.
Tom is even okay, bro, they got too many weapons.
Something gonna go wrong though. They got too much going on. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Jesus.
Arian's gonna come at Tom or some shit, but something gotta go wrong.
It's funny how
There's
when
too
you're a
much.
certain person, you get the criticism is different. Because boy, if this
Right.
was somebody else with a team like this, they were a super team. Jesus.
That shit's wild, bro. But NFL is the one league I feel like the super team status don't really matter. Like every time we've seen those super teams, like the Patriots that year, it's always that one team randomly that puts their ass out. Like even if it's at the Super Bowl, so.
It take one fire pass rush. That's the one beauty of the league.
Right. No, that's facts, bro. One fire pass rush had their ass fucked up. Tom Brady ain't leaving nobody's pocket.
No.
What's their O-line looking like? I've never been like, I mean, is that part of the reason Winston was so ass?
Nah, the O-line's not terrible. It's not terrible.
But they're not
I'm
the
just like,
best either.
where's
Yeah,
all this
yeah.
money come from, bro? You got 2 of the top 10 receivers. Leonard Fournette, regardless of you like him, he's still a top 10.
What did
back.
Gronk sign for? I guess that's the biggest
That's a
question.
good question. It got to be
'Cause
Nichols.
Leonard Fournette probably took $1 million prove-it deal or some shit.
Yeah,
'Cause
some 1 year dumb deal.
It's
but
so
like,
dumb when they do shit like that, though. Like,
it just make the league. It just throws it off balance. They too
Yeah.
stacked, bro. Like, they might not win a chip, but they definitely gonna win the division. And
yeah,
jeez,
We keep an eye on that for sure.
yeah, I'm
yeah.
crazy. I know we had 2 more NBA games as well. So the
So
other
we
game,
got just to be on the record. So we saying, me and you saying, you think Boston gonna beat Toronto, or you got Toronto there?
I think Boston beats Toronto.
So we got
Yeah, I got
Boston and
Boston.
Toronto. Devontae, what you got? Eastern
I got
Conference final.
Eastern Conference. I got the Bucks versus the Celtics.
Okay, we all agree there. What we got out west?
No, yeah, I got the Heat.
No,
right?
we got the Heat. I got the Heat.
Oh,
versus
you got
Celtics.
Bucks. You got
I
Bucks coming
got
back.
Bucks. Yeah. I got Bucks and Celtics.
Ooh, okay.
I got Bucks and Celtics.
Okay, well, that's nice. What we got out west?
Right now, I got Clippers, Lakers in the finals because Lakers gonna play whoever wins OKC and Houston.
Yeah, they gonna play the Rockets or the Thunder, and they should be.
They beat neither of those.
They should beat them in 6, and then the Clippers finna wash the Nuggets.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna wash them like dirty laundry.
And then we all know I think it's Clippers Heat finals for me. Clippers winning it all.
Clippers Heat. Ooh, that Boston and Heat gonna be a treasure.
That's gonna be a good ass series to watch.
Both
I'm
of them.
tuning into every game of that.
Yeah, both conference finals.
Yeah,
Probably gonna be
yeah.
nice.
Clippers, Lakers. Who
I
y'all
think it's
got?
gonna be Clippers, Bucks, and Clippers gonna take the chip.
Okay, nice. You think PG?
I still believe in the Bucks. Ain't that strange?
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't see they. I mean, I guess Giannis ball tonight. I ain't get to watch it, but it's that line.
They lost by 2. I don't, I think he's figuring some stuff out.
I'm gonna be.
But the Clippers are by far to me the best team in the league. And so, and there's no reason not to pick them because they got some dogs too. So it's not like they got talent but lack heart. They got some dogs with them too. So, PG just got to stay consistent. That's gonna be key.
Take away from the Utah Denver series.
I love it. I love when 2 new stars are born. I love that. I mean, sports media can be so petty. 1 game 7. These boys put on 4 50-point performances. 2 stars are born. That's better for the league. It's a reason to watch Utah now.
Mm-hmm.
They got Conley is definitely his decline was a lot sharper than I thought it would be. But they get Bogdanovich back next year. They're gonna be a good squad. They got to retool some things. I would probably get rid of Conley.
Yeah, they need a real point. They need a
Yeah,
real point.
he declined too much, but the time is now. They got Mitchell Gobert, and then I mean, obviously, if you Denver, you keep everything. You still got the young kid Michael Porter.
Mm-hmm.
Still got Bol.
Yep.
You still got Murray.
Just maturing. That's
you just
all
got
you
to get
need.
better. Your
Jokic.
players literally just got to get better. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So next year Murray needs to be, he needs to be a top 5 shooting guard in the league. So he got to go work on his craft. He got to put some muscle on. He ain't got no cuts in his arm.
you always be big on that
niggas like that.
Bro, I don't know. I don't like guys who don't look in shape, bro.
You think it says something to their work ethic?
You're not working hard enough, bro. Like, I work 8 hours a day, bro. Like, I got an excuse, bro. Your job is to play basketball. Like, you burning so many calories a day. If you just go and do 10 bicep curls every day, you're going to have some Steph Curry got cuts in his arm.
Right.
That's just because he's hungry, bro.
Like, Jamal Murray.
You don't be eating Aisha cooking like that.
Murray and Harden, them, I don't like guys who I can tell just go hoop. Like, that's they exercise. Like, nah, get a real weight regimen. Get strong.
Chris Paul got the smaller version of Paul Pierce built, though. He could probably lift all the weights he wants, but it ain't going to show no tone. He just going to have them little chubby-looking arms out there putting weight on boys.
Nah, they don't be doing enough shoulder presses, man. They doing lifting the wrong weights. You ain't got no cuts in your arms. That's because you ain't hitting them shoulder presses.
You trying to keep that stroke right. He said, fuck them shoulder presses. Jumper and them assists going to get there on time.
For sure. I love it. Definitely going to be in tune to the NBA.
Who's your final choice? I don't know if you said it or not.
Oh, I got Godly.
You know you want the Clips.
The Clips for sure. I was trying to debate between Miami and Boston.
Oh, that's Boston.
I want to go. My early pick last time we posed it was Boston, just because I believe in Tatum and
they got a lot of star name power, but I got that Heat team something.
Jaylen Brown. I love Brad Stevens. We all know his history as a coach. So I think that's the real duel. It's gonna be between Tatum and Spoelstra. I mean, not Tatum, Spoelstra and Stevens. I think that'll determine the winner of that series.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think it's more so the players, but I do see where you're coming from. Stevens, he gonna be the next Pop, so that's just my early. I think everybody kind of senses he's a top 5 coach in the league. But Spoelstra got that pedigree, and then he got players that fit his style. Like Butler's gonna go out there and play some defense for you. And that's what Spoelstra loves, a defensive, anchored team. So
I'm gonna go with Boston and Clippers.
Well,
okay.
That's it. Remember, I got the Bucks emerging, even though they in the 0-2 hole. So I want that on the record.
Hey, if they come back, you done predicted some shit.
Hell yeah.
I'm just saying early before the season began. I had these
I
Heat.
bet you I can make some bread. I'm gonna go put 500 if they win the series.
You'll make some crazy bread.
Yeah.
Okay. That might be a move if you're that confident. I should have bet on the Heat earlier. Shit, I was asleep.
They don't win. See, I can't do it because they don't win. They have me hating boys in real life. I don't even know.
Right, fuck them, man. Think of every dollar they cost you off every bucket they missed or every shot they got blocked or some shit.
How long is this pod? What we at?
Almost 2 hours. We're about at 2 hours now.
Pod, man. Fire pod.
We close to averaging that. We've been giving them some good content. I feel like.
Nice.
Yeah. How overall? How y'all feeling about today? Then the topics we hit.
Man, I like it. I think we stepping in, hitting our stride. I thought we getting better and better every episode.
Right.
Definitely touched on great topics, things that were relevant. Also spent it and kind of gave it more of a general view, something that people can use and compare to their own life. So I fuck with it.
Yeah, I think this was a good one. We got a couple real. We have fun. We obviously honor the legend. We had some seriousness. We can, we did what we had to do on this one. I think
we got a little deep in between too.
Yeah, we showed our range. We had fun.
For sure.
If you're not on a No Bluff train, get on now. I'm telling you, it's always fun riding it on the way up. Right?
Facts. That's how I feel about the Heat right now. I'm pulling. But if y'all like it, even if y'all don't like it, tell us how we can get better. Hit us at No Bluff Podcast.
Fuck you.
I'm with that too. Now I like constructive criticism as long as it's constructive and not toxic criticism.
Yeah.
Some people just out here to hate no matter what you put out. But hit us on No Bluff Podcast at gmail.com, No Bluff Podcast on Twitter, No Bluff Podcast on YouTube. We also on Instagram. You can comment under it. Let us know what you like, what you don't like. If you want to be more discreet, just hit us in the email. Yeah, hopefully y'all enjoy what y'all hear. This is episode 4, and we out.
Peace.